I've been riding dirt bikes, street bikes, all kinds of bikes for over 20 years. And what I've found is that just riding more is some of the worst advice you can get. And I want to explain why. Reason number one why just riding more is not helpful is you're more likely to form bad habits that are more likely to increase your risk, cause you to crash, get hurt, exhausted quickly, force you to slow down. And the longer you ride with these bad habits, the harder it is to break them. For example, if you're used to riding on the street, when you transition to riding dirt bikes off-road, a common habit is being very relaxed with your body position and not moving around enough on the bike. And riding a dirt bike requires very different riding technique and body position if you want to stay in control at all times. So if you're just sitting in the same spot or even standing in the same spot, this might be one of the reasons why you're getting exhausted quickly or you don't have as much confidence as you think you should. But if you don't know the right technique or the right body position, then you're just going to keep doing what you think is right, and this will form into a bad habit, which will hold you back. Reason number two why just riding more isn't better is it takes much longer than if you were to start out the right way, which I'll get to eventually. So this is the path that I took, where I was riding for years and years trying to figure it out on my own. I spent so much time reading articles, magazines, watching YouTube videos, trying to get every piece of free resource and content that I could find. And then I actually had to go out and use those and see what worked for me. And while I eventually figured out how to become a safer, more confident trail rider, doing single track trails, whether it's here in Minnesota or really technical stuff out in Colorado, I would have been able to have a lot more confidence a lot sooner if I actually had a coach that had already been through the struggles and made the mistakes and was showing me how to prevent those. And reason number three why just riding more isn't better is you don't know what you don't know. So take, for example, a professional rider, whether they're off-road or motocross. Did they start out knowing everything that they know now? No. They either had to learn it from themselves or from a coach or from multiple coaches. But if you think that you can just start out and figure it out on your own, it's going to take a lot of trial and error or asking questions, looking online, asking people, figuring out what's wrong, and then figuring out what's right. And all that can take years, and it can also greatly increase the risk of riding, because if you're trying to do something that feels right but is actually wrong, this could cause you to crash and get hurt, which I don't want you to do. And if you think that you're too good for learning from someone or learning something new, just know that professional riders that are still getting faster are still learning. So a really big sign that just riding more is not helping you is when you have a group of family or friends that you're riding with and you're putting in the same amount of ride time, same amount of seat time as them, but you're not progressing your skills or confidence as quickly as they are. And this makes it really frustrating because you feel like, oh, I'm putting in the time, putting in the effort, but they're still able to race faster than me or ride trails faster than me or do trails that are more technical than me. You're just baffled because you don't know what you're doing wrong. Well, this is also a really good sign that you haven't learned and mastered the basic techniques to trail riding off-road. And before you say anything, yes, riding and getting seat time is extremely important. You can't just learn all this knowledge and then think that you're going to be an expert level rider. Yes, you do have to go out and ride, but if that's all you do, if you're not intentional about your riding, about learning the proper techniques, it's going to take a lot longer and it's going to be a lot harder, a more challenging, difficult of a path for you. And if you want to learn these techniques without just riding more, I encourage you to check out this video on why trail riders must learn positive riding habits.